holiday. Yes, sir. I took my first day off in about 2 months. You know what I'm saying? I took a real day off. And spent some time with the family, you know what I'm saying, on the holiday. Back rejuvenated, feeling fresh and better than ever. Give me a 1 if everything sounds lovely. I would appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody rocking. Shout out to Mr. Michael Lockhart, Swain, the bad influence, Mr. Double R in the building. Jameson Taylor, Jay Worthy, rocking out with your boy, man. I appreciate all the love and support. Shout out to Lord King, Big Flock in the building, man. We in here, man. Make sure you hit that like and share for the squad. It will not charge a card, I promise. That's a promise. We in here today, man. Like I said, I took my first off day in a long time on YouTube, man. You know what I'm saying? Chill with the family. Did some Easter festivities. You know what I'm saying? Coming back feeling fresh and rejuvenated. You know, better than ever. You understand? So I hope everybody enjoyed their holiday. Let's go. But you know exactly what we gotta make them haters do. We gotta make sure them haters on their job. You already know. So make sure you hit that like and share, man. Let's get this trap round the corner. Let's get it.
I can't see a thing, all this money in my face. Hey, I just blew a bag, ran it back the same day. Hey, ain't no looking back.
We got that fried bologna in there for you. You already know that, man. Shout out to the bugs, the beat them fish.
That what make them hate. That what make them hate. And we just getting cake and they just in the way. That what make them hate. That what make them hate. Cause we just getting cake and they just in the way. Landlord is showing how to ball. You ain't even on the team, you just a ball boy. Used to run knockouts, but it's real now. I probably average your career. Nigga one day hating on
we gotta beat the
kill.
algorithm curse.
When they got our own band, we hollin' a deal.
Trying to get this thing over 100. Over 100. Not 100, over 100.
It made me go harder. They
Turn
turn me to a monster.
Shout out to
on the
Cowboys.
I'm one of them comma
in the
for the summer, one of them numbers. Yeah.
Shout
I know
out to
that they hate the
Captain
way
America.
the ball
We got heroes and zeros in the building. Shout out to Jay Worthy. Let's go.
All this money in my face.
Yeah, the Lockhart rockin'. Let's go.
Ain't no looking back. We came a long way.
I know we in this thing, man. I'm feeling good on a Monday. It's an ugly Monday, but we finna try to put some light on y'all today. The only way we know how, talking about American team, those Cowboys, you understand me? So let's crank this thing on up. What's happening? Now you might think you at school or maybe at home or even watching me from a phone, but I promise you, you are in the trap. That's a promise. You know what I'm saying? Did you miss me? I ain't been off a day in a long time, man. I feel good coming back on this thing. I took a real life off day. Now, I did some slight work, but I didn't go live. This is probably the first time in like maybe 2 months right now. First time in 2 months that I didn't go live, and I feel good to be back. You know what I'm saying? Did you miss me? Miss Gina said she missed me. I got one person said they missed me, so I'm good today. But how y'all doing, man? I think I might have heard something. I ain't sure. Was it a bird or a plane? Oh. It's the Ferris News, of course. Shout out to Common Sense Lab, the Quincy Coleman, James Simmons, everybody. Kevin Hicks, what's happening? But breaking news, you know. Well, that wasn't it. Hold on. Breaking news, as you know, Mr. Odell Jr. has been signed to the Baltimore Ravens. You know what I'm saying? He has been signed to the Baltimore Ravens, and I couldn't be happier, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all know I like OBJ. I think he's a phenomenal talent. But for the price tag they paid him, sir, 1 year, $18 million, no sir, no sirree Bob. I'm good. I'm good, love, and joy. Y'all remember we used to say that? I'm good, love, and joy. Like, we straight on that right now.
Trap.
Because, we did the smarter deal, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though Jerry took him all over town and treated him like a lady, he still wanted to be for the streets. You know what I'm saying? So we just gonna leave him on, let him be. Because, we would have been, adding on the explosive talent, but we did that for a cheaper bargain in Brandon Cooks. And I feel like Cooks is probably the safer option and the better fit for this football team, if you think about it, you know what I'm saying? So, I ain't too mad, but, I don't know what the Ravens doing because they ain't even got a quarterback over there right now. Maybe this is a tactic they gonna use to draw Lamar Jackson back over there to the Ravens, but they at odds right now, so they kind of beefing over there. So, we'll see how that work out for them, but, that ain't none of our business, but, OBJ has been a topic in Cowboy Nation for a while now, so it's glad that is over for at least this year. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? It's over. Fine. Moving along. Bam. So now, shout out to Mike Fisher. He says, Beckham bullet dodged. Now, I really do think it was a bullet dodge when you think about the production that Brandon Cooks has compared to what OBJ has. The man has been injured with 2 ACL injuries back-to-back years. So, when you take that into perspective, it's like, that's an expensive toy for $18 million when it badly been working the last few years. But Brandon Cooks has been just as productive, probably more, let's see, in the past years. You know what I'm saying? Bam, when you look at OBJ, his last year in 2021, he only had 500 yards. You know what I'm saying? And in his career, he had 700 to 800 yards. And how many touchdowns he got? Let's see. That's not it. Wait a minute. 56 touchdowns in all. And, I like OBJ as a talent because of his explosiveness, but Brandon Cooks has been right there with him, you know what I'm saying? So, we did the right thing, y'all. We did the right thing now. I say he had 58. Brandon Cooks has 49 and 8,986 yards. And in 2022, he had 699 yards. But, he was playing for the Houston Texans where nobody wants to play. You know what I'm saying? Where receivers go to die. That's where he was, in Houston. So, nobody wants to play there. And he still was productive. No matter what quarterback they put in front of him, he still was balling out. So, just imagine how rejuvenated and how energetic he will be joining that America's team with that star on his helmet.
We are America's team, the most watched, the most hated. Y'all don't like us, but y'all tuning in every Sunday.
You better believe he gonna have a spark of energy coming into this building, seeing these athletes and this talent around him. You best believe that, sir. How you feel like you going to war when you sit up here and look to the left and to the right and you ain't got no soldiers? You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no soldiers. You the only one with some ammo. Everybody else got water guns and cap guns. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to line up and go to war like that. Who want to be on the front line of that war, of that platoon? Who want to be in the foxhole with those guys? Now you got some real talent, some real people to stand on the side of you and go crazy at Cowboy Nation, man. We got some real weapons. We got a real quarterback. We got a real team that's a real threat in this NFC and in the whole NFL for this trophy, y'all. So he gonna feel like a new man walking out. Then you add to the fact that he is a Dallas Cowboys fan. I can only imagine. We seen the man baby pictures. He showed you the real proof that he was a real Cowboys fan. Then he gets to play with Stephon Gilmore, somebody that he call his friend. So, man, I know he's going to be a happy guy walking into work into Dallas compared to what he was doing with those filthy Texans. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Now, is this that young lion out here putting in his work? Don't tell me that now. Don't tell me that now. Have you seen a lion in a place of business like this putting in work like this, boy? Shout out to Mr. Dance, I believe he was working out with. And Michael Parsons looking very, very fast, looking very, very focused. Like I said before about other people like CeeDee, man, these young guys are millionaires living at the top of their life. They could be doing anything, but these boys is putting in work, making sure they secure this bag and go crazy for the next year. That's very, very admirable from them, man. I'm happy we got the right kind of young guys, especially our young stars. Like when you got stars putting in the work, they know that makes everybody else want to put in work too. Because think about it. If you know you're an end of the bench guy, you think you got room to be playing around, man? If you see these people up here like Michael Parsons working sun up to sundown and you a mediocre player or a player trying to make this team, do you think you got the luxury to be playing around? No, sir. And people know that. Like, you know, if you didn't know, unfortunately, I am a Spurs fan right now. You know what I'm saying? We had the worst year ever look like this year. I'm so glad it's almost over. But when you think about quiet leaders and stuff like Tim Duncan, man, he didn't have to say much. He led by his actions. And people, once you know you let your biggest star on your team get coached hard, just like Tim Duncan let Pop coach him hard, that made everybody, they said I'm freezing. Don't tell me that, worthy. But just like Pop let Duncan coach him hard, Pop coached Duncan hard, that made everybody else fall in line, follow suit. You know what I'm saying? When you got the best player in the world over here getting coached hard by the coach, what these other players gonna say? These rookies and these fringe journeymen. What's that gonna do? Trap. So that's why you need to be in tap. You need to be in tune with your best player. That make it easier for everybody else to fall in line. If your best player is defiant, that's gonna make everybody else like, well, he ain't gotta do it, so I ain't gotta do it. You gotta have that morale high in the locker room. That's why I like Mike McCarthy, because he's a guy that understands the morale in the locker room must be high. You don't want people looking over their shoulder like this guy don't deserve it or this guy don't work hard. That's why a team, the way you build it, the way you structure it, you need to work. You need to pay the people who put in the work, pay the right people, man, because it really counts. This is something that's very underrated in these discussions. The player next to you got to be able to look over and be like, hey, that guy working, he deserves it. You know what I'm saying? Trap. So this is high morale in our locker room. Bam. Now, this is the highest paid cornerbacks in football right now. And y'all know something. I don't know how the Dallas Cowboys just keep doing this over and over. These boys is mad slick. Will McClay and Stephen Jones, Dollar Bill Jones is him.
It's me. I'm him. I'm not them. I'm him Jones. I'm him Duncan.
Now, we got the highest paid corners in the whole league. And we feel like we got the best cornerback duo. And we ain't nowhere close to this list.
If the South got something to say, that's all I got to say.
We ain't nowhere close to this list. That boy Will McClay is a finesser now. He know what he doing. Dollar Bill Jones, even though we hate him at sometimes, when it comes to stuff like this, man, he be in his bag. So I'll take Trayvon Diggs over a lot of these guys. Probably, you know, I'm a little Bama biased, you know what I'm saying? You know that. So I'll take Trey over most of these guys, I'll say. But not even to mention, we got Stephon Gilmore right there and making this list just look real crazy. And we got the top duo, cornerback duo, in my opinion, in the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Trap. The only people that got something to say about that is Jalen and Xavier Howard over there in Miami. But besides them, I think it's easy that it's the Cowboys. Probably a close third, maybe Slay and Bradbury, but I'm just not that high on Bradbury. That's just me. And Slay is on the tail end of his career, and I see him getting cooked in a few years. So I'm taking my guys. You know, you know how I am, man. I ride for my people, bro. I'm taking my folks. I'm taking my folks. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am, but we got to give a round of applause for Stephen Jones and Will McClay for pulling this off. Like, this is a heist. How are we considering that we got the best cornerback duo and we don't have not one name on this list? How? Like, this is really, really outstanding, y'all. Like, we gotta give them their props. Like, this is not even logical. So if I told you this before 2020 that this was gonna be where we stand, you should be happy with that, man. Trayvon Diggs is a young stud corner, and you go add a former defensive player of the year in free agency for the cheap. You can't get no better than that, man. Bravo, Steven and Will. But this is the highest graded day 2 picks like since 2006. And you see the newly gold jacket DeMarcus Lawrence up in that thing. No. Wait a minute. I'm thinking about DeMarcus Ware, but DeMarcus Lawrence is in the second good range. Shout out to DeMarcus Lawrence with the gold jacket, but I mean DeMarcus Ware. See, why they got two DeMarcuses back to back like that? DeMarcus Lawrence is the third ranked out of this list right here, man. And it's crazy to think that him coming out of the small school, out of Boise, and him being ranked this high, having such a successful career, even though he's on the tail end of it, man. So I still like D-Law. I know he don't get all the publicity that he probably deserved because he do like a Draymond Green-ish type job, you know what I'm saying? He does the dirty work. He's a glue guy, you know what I'm saying? And he's a good run defender. So I believe he really gets slept on. We would still like him to get a few more sacks, but if you mean to tell me he gonna step up in the big games like he did last year, I ain't complaining. You know, beggars can't choose. Trap. And to be quite honest, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of low on D-Law coming into last year. Like, not low on him, but I felt like he's coming towards the tail end of his career. But D-Law stepped up big time in the big games. He had his best games in the big games. You know what I'm saying? Trap. Exactly, man. That was one of them hopping out the car too fast like Day-Day with the seatbelt on. But, you know, players mess up too, but we gonna keep it moving. You know, we smooth like that. We cool like that. You understand me? Bam. Oh, that's it. That's some another blooper. But shout out to Mark D Talking Boys on Twitter, man. He got the all-purpose yards for CeeDee, looking better than everybody last year. You know what I'm saying? Trap. You got your number one. Trap. Yeah, Tavis Bang. Shout out to you. CeeDee definitely cooked Bradbury every time he played him. You know how he get down. He's not afraid of that young man. But look at this. Deebo Samuel with those wide receiver fumbles, man. Come on now. You got 6 of them things, boy. Trap. You know what I'm saying? You got 6 of them things. But CeeDee Lamb with only 2. CeeDee is very, very secure with the football over these guys. You know, I ain't gonna lie. Off of pure talent, just give me this guy over this guy. I love DK Metcalf's skill set. Like, he's like a Megatron almost to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna count. He said, this show is very animated. I am, sir. You know, if you don't like the style, you can move along. It's all good. It's just me. I gotta be me on my show. So, you know, it is what it is. So. Trap. But, moving along. Now, I'll take DK if you tell me, hey, this guy and this guy, we picking like a starting 5 if we on the court or something. Give me DK. I ain't gonna lie. But in production-wise, CeeDee Lamb is better than all these guys last year with his quarterback missing like 5 games. So, hey, I'm with it all day long. And he only has 2 fumbles. DK got more total touchdowns, but he got more total touchdowns than Deebo Samuel. And everybody loves Deebo, looks like to me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves Deebo. But our guy is being underrated and undervalued, so I think y'all need to put a little respect on Mr. Cedarian Lamb's name. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. But that might be it. I'm not sure. I believe so. Yeah, that's all I got for y'all on the talking points. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got on the talking points right now. But shout out to Coach Marv over here in the building. He said D-Law in the last 2 years has caused 10 turnovers. That's production over sacks, landlord. You right about that. Like I said, one of the best traits you can get from a player like D-Law, you know he's a leader and he's stepping up in the big games. Like, you remember I had a discussion not too long ago about he said this show is a trap for boredom. You know what I'm saying? So I'm bored now. I don't know what you're talking about. Who's looking for the unanimated boring show? He said, go watch golf. Y'all so man. Hey, I gotta have an element of entertainment in my show, man. This is just how I run my show. So if you don't like my show, you know, there's other shows to go watch. But yeah, man, like the one thing you remember I had that discussion about D-Law. When you trying to lead men, man, you gotta actually have the production and you gotta show it on the field as well. You can't just talk that talk, you gotta walk that walk as well. So if you ain't walking that walk, the leadership don't go over. Yeah, I got you, Rolo, man. I appreciate the love and support. I really do. But the leadership don't go over the same, right, Coach Marv, if you're not producing on the field. So the fact that Tank showed up in the biggest games, I love it. So that's going to make the guys fall in line and want to ride for you when they see you cutting up like that in the biggest moments. Because you need your leaders like DeMarcus Lawrence, J-Ron Curse, Michael Parsons, Dak. You need those guys to show up in the big moments so they can get everybody else composed and under control, get them calm. Because, you know, the characteristics for a young guy in situations like that, they just be a little antsy, they be a little nervous, butterflies in your stomach. You need a calming, controlling voice like Dak or Michael or Curse or D-Law to get you where you need to get. You know what I'm saying? So I love it. I love it. He says, lead by example on the field. Exactly. So look, you remember, this a prime example too right here, Cowboy Brian. You remember at first when Michael Parsons was like, my rookie year, I had no voice in there. You know what I'm saying? You remember he had no voice in the leadership, like far as leadership go in the room. He said they weren't even listening to him, remember? Then now all of a sudden, they see him ball out. Towards the end of that year, they start being all ears when it came to Michael Parsons. You know what I'm saying? Start being all ears. They start listening. You know what I'm saying? So then he come and follow that up with an encore presentation. And hey, everybody in the building is listening to Michael Parsons. Everybody got an ear for him now. So that's how you do it, man. It's funny being in a leadership role when it comes to men. It's a little different. It's not the same. Like, you got to be that guy. Like, men can sense somebody that's not that guy and just pretending to be that guy. We can sense that. You know what I'm saying? We can definitely sense that. Like, we can smell it on you. Like, cause the guy, if you one of those guys, you ain't gotta pretend. You just him. You know what I'm saying? You know how it goes.
Me, I'm him, I'm not them. I'm him Jones, I'm him Duncan.
You don't have to pretend to be something that you're not. You just him. You just be him. You know what I'm saying? But let's go. Let's see what y'all talking about. Coach Mars said Lamb has put up that production with the offense that gave him very little room for yak yards, landlord. Hey, just imagine CeeDee Lamb with a partner in crime, Coach Ma.
Trap.
Know what I'm saying? Just imagine CeeDee Lamb with a partner in crime. Cause look, just like I said, far as Micah was, you remember they didn't really help Micah. Micah even said that. He was like, they wouldn't listen to me. The second year they listened to him. Now CeeDee Lamb just showed you he's a number one. Contrary to popular belief, it was still doubt at the beginning of the year with CD being a number one. So people had to actually see it. Now, I wasn't a doubter. I felt like he can do it. I projected him to be one of the best receivers in the league. I have my receipts. Go check my work, you know. I said he would be one of those guys, you know, and it just started to materialize on the field after a while. It took a minute. You know, when he first started, he wasn't just bursting off the scenes, but you do got to take into account that he had Cooper Rush for like 5 games. So it took a little while for him to start going crazy, but when he did, he showed everybody who he was. So now you give him a weapon, you give him somebody else to worry about besides Noah Brown and a hurt Michael Gallup, you know what I'm saying? Besides Noah Brown and a hurt Michael Gallup, bro, you got somebody that's finna hold their own on the other side. See, you know, this is what we desire for players like DeMarcus Lawrence. I know this is offense and defense, but you need that partner in crime on the other side. You know, we struggled to get that. We wanted Randy Gregory to become that guy. He did semi, but then he didn't. You know what I'm saying? He just started going off and he wanted to lead the team. So you need a partner in crime when it comes to receiver and DN. You want two of them. You don't just want one. You want two. You know what I'm saying? So don't be surprised. Receiver's still a sneaky part of the draft to me. Lamb with some help finna be scary. Cowboy Brian says Lamb going to be better this year, but any Cowboys player got to do more to get respect. All this Cowboy hate in the world. You right about that, sir. You know why they hate us.
We are America's
You know
team.
why,
The most
Cowboy
watched,
Brian.
the most hated. Y'all don't like us, but y'all tune in every Sunday.
These people hating Dak to sleep. They saying Dak ain't even top 5 in the conference right now, and this man literally got top 10 all-time numbers. You know what I'm saying? See, it's crazy when you think about it, man. They don't want to respect us, but you know what you have to do. In a league full of men, you got to go take it, Brian. You got to go demand your respect.
Trap.
You got to go take it.
Trap.
And I ain't gonna lie, I believe in my players, but I believe they do have to go take it, though. You know what I'm saying? This just one of them. It's a dog-eat-dog world. You got to go do it. You know what I'm saying? We believe in our players, but they've been awarded a lot of time to get over this hump, and they haven't done it. So that's the way it works. You got to go actually do it. And I feel like this is the best year we can do it, though. You know what I'm saying? This the best year. You know how it is, Brian. Like when you dealing with the bully, how you gonna get the bully respect? You gotta punch that bully in the mouth, don't you?
Trap.
That's the only way it happens.
Trap.
If you don't punch that bully in the mouth, he just gonna keep taking your lunch money. That's just how it go. You know what I'm saying? And in this metaphor, it'll definitely be the media is a bully for some of our players, and you know, some of our ops like the 49ers, like actually Debo. You know what I'm saying? The 49ers. They would be typically, you know, considered our bully right now. We got to beat them up. We got to get over that hump. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we just built the team to do it. Now, talking about Mr. Michael Mayer, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Michael Meyer. Not Mayer. He's no kin to the kicker, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully. But, you know, they comping him to Jason Witten. Now, everybody's saying, I see Mike Fisher with reports saying that he's been comped. I mean, he's been looked at as maybe the Cowboys trying to draft a Kelce. So I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. If the Cowboys draft a tight end, I'm gonna be mad. But say for instance, 3-4 games in, we find out this dude is a Kelce.
Trap.
I have a zip over my lip real quick. Shout out to my, Coach Marv with the $5 super. He says, true leaders of men promote confidence in others to do great, not fear to fail, man.
Trap.
Them bars right there, Coach. Them bars right there. Because you want to have that hope, and you want to look up to your leader too, Coach. Because just like Kobe and Mike and them, man, like when they look over there, when the other players they playing with look over there and say, hey, I got one of them guys on my team, you think they gonna have, like, you think they gonna be lacking confidence? No, they gonna be like, I got one of the best players in the world on my team. We finna go take this over. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to have.
Trap.
But appreciate that, Coach. But back to the Michael Mayer. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I would be upset. But just imagine, we only be mad at the draft when we actually in the draft process. Because if these players become, you know, a Travis Kelce now, come on now. We ain't gonna have much to say. But you got to think about this, too. We love Will McClay. If Will McClay draft one of these dudes, man, we got to just trust in our guy, man. We got to. We got to. Shout out to Rollo Tomasa with the $5 super. I appreciate you, sir. He says, keep up the great content. No tight end at 26. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. But this all I'm saying, though. Rollo, while we talking about the draft, while we in draft mode, we definitely will be like, okay, we don't want to draft him, right? We don't want to draft a tight end while we evaluating draft and looking at value and all of that. But after the draft process, you know, all of that is erased because now it's all about what happens on the field. So once you get done with that, think about this. I don't want a tight end at 26, but think about this. After the draft process is over and you erase all of this off your whiteboard, erase everything you thought about, now it only matters what happens on the field. Just imagine if this boy become another Travis Kelce. Because I like the fact that we went in a dress receiver. So I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't be happy, but I wouldn't be super angry either. Because I have to trust Will McClay like we trust him at every other position. We trust Will McClay at every other position now. Come on now. You gotta give Will, if Will elect to draft this man, if he say, okay, draft this dude, I'm rocking with my boy Will McClay, man. I trust him. I can't help but trust my guy. He's been, Rollo and Will McClay and Dan Quinn, we trust, man. We got to give him that same amount of trust and respect we do in every other position. Now, would I be upset the moment of? Because y'all know, if you didn't know, if this your first time watching, I will be going to the draft. So, I would be at the draft madder than a mug, you know what I'm saying? Trap. But you gotta respect Will McClay, man. Shout out to the hoodlum with the $4.99 super. I appreciate you, sir. He says, we dodged the bullet, landlord. 1 year, 18 mil for Odell. I'll take my chances with Gallup. Hey, and we ain't even gotta do that, hoodlum. We taking our chances with Brandon Cooks. You know what I'm saying? Trap. Hoodlum, we just told you Brandon Cooks had basically a better career. You know what I'm saying? And a better year last year. He had a much better year last year. You want to know why? Because Odell didn't play a snap. You know what I'm saying? Even though Brandon Cooks was playing for a team that he probably didn't want to play for, you know what I'm saying? But he played. So, and he produced. He had almost a 700-yard year. And he was a wide receiver 1. We asking him to be a wide receiver 2. Like, this is finna be easy. This is finna be easy work right here. Coach Miles said, landlord, this tight end thing is another smoke screen. I hope so. But, Coach, am I wrong for saying we might have to put a little more trust in Will? If he elected, now it could be two ways to look at this. If they elect to draft a tight end, Will might have didn't improve it, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see a Travis Kelce in neither one of these guys, Mayer or Kincaid. But I think they can play. You know what I'm saying? I think they can play, though. But maybe if we do elect to draft a tight end, maybe they ain't had nothing to do with it. So, I don't know. It's two ways to look at it. But I do trust Will McClay. I trust Will McClay to the point where I don't even got to look at the draft. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have to watch it. Because, look, he got a track history like that. Think about it. That's almost like, let me see if LeBron finna ball out. Like, bro, this man been balling for 10 years. He know what he doing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even got to watch the draft. The Cowboys been consistently one of the best teams at drafting, and I expect no different this year. You know what I'm saying? I just think we got to put some respect on his name when it comes to anybody that they draft. You know what I'm saying? Will McClay a monster with it. DP Johnson in the building. He says, landlord, it's definitely Will McClay season, and him we trust. But damn, I'm going to be mad if we draft a top 100 tight end. Hey, I feel you, though. I feel you, though. But, hey, I'm going to be mad. I think I'm going to be mad initially. Because I ain't going to lie, this tight end rumor stuff is heating up, though, Coach Marv. Because I know you said it's a smoke screen, but it's been heating up. Like, I ain't going to lie, I've been seeing a lot of little references, like the saying it's been heating up. So, we'll see. But like I said, if that day comes, I still trust in Will McClay. Shout out to Tavis Banks with the $10 super. I appreciate you, sir. He says Braden Willis, tight end Oklahoma, is official, and he fits the West Coast offense. Damn, a tight end at 26. He said,
Trap.
He said, damn that.
Trap.
Little Tavis, you know, I'm a little Bama biased, you know what I'm saying? But you like, what you think about Cameron Latu? I like Cameron Latu too. You know what I'm saying? I like him as a late round tight end out of Bama. I think he can play. And I think if you bring him in as a late round tight end and you want him to help out your team, I think he'll be phenomenal, man, for the Cowboys, I'd say. You know what I'm saying? With him adding him to a room with Jake Ferguson and paying him the shot, I think he'll cut up. Shout out to JC Cowboy Network in the building. So what's happening with you?
Trap.
That's a good dude right there, man. Y'all make sure y'all go holler at him, man. Go sub and support his channel. He got several channels, don't you, JC? Y'all go support all his channels. I ain't looked at all of them, but I know you got like some football breakdown. That's a hard-working man right there. Dono says, I agree. We do great at drafting, but the O-line and D-line still has question marks. Not hating, but being honest. You right. I'm not mad at you at all. You telling the absolute truth. You know what I'm saying? We are questionable at the defensive line, and we need a guard. Those are no secrets. There's no secrets, though. It's no secret with those. Shout out to the Hoodlum with the $4.99 super. I appreciate it. He said Kincaid is not that good to me. He just looks like a college tight end to me. He has a back of Jared Jones. No way we drafting a tight end in the first round. You know what's concerning to me about not Kincaid, but Mayer? They saying they comping him to Jason Witten, bro.
Trap.
That's scary though. That's scary though. You know what I'm saying? They comping him to Jason Witten, bro. Like that sound like right up Jared Alley. Cause he gonna sell us. This is our new Jason Witten. That's what they'll sell us. So you gotta watch that, bro. You gotta watch that. Shout out to Coach Marv. He says, landlord, don't you know that Will knows that every great tight end in the league right now was drafted late. So why would he change? Why would he change now? Come on, landlord, don't fall for it. Yeah, you right. It's never worked. Tight end in first round is not attractive. It's not smart. It's hardly ever worked. But, Coach, when you agree that we need Trench's help, and I can't lie about that. But I think we kind of in a privileged situation, Coach, to where if we did take it, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Mike McCarthy done built this team pretty strong, Coach. Like, can we agree to that though?
Trap.
You know what I'm saying?
Trap.
I think we can agree that Mike McCarthy has situated us in a great scenario. You know what I'm saying? He's placed us in a great situation to where it don't matter. Like, we basically can, I told you, I can rock out with this team right now. Like, we just not in love with the defensive line, like the defensive tackles, or we're not in love with the O-line, but we really can go suit up right now. Am I wrong for that, Coach? Let me know. I feel like we can suit up right now. Shout out to JC with the $4.99 super. I appreciate you, sir. He says, you know it, brother, always working hard for Cowboy Nation. That's what we do, man. Absolutely, man. See, I don't think people understand the dedication it takes.
Trap.
We get up here early every morning, you know what I'm saying? It takes consistency. You know, some of them times we be like, man, I'm finna roll back over and go to sleep. But y'all will be like, man, what's going on with landlord? Man, he don't usually do that. That's uncharacteristic. That would be the same scenario how I look at my quarterback. Like, me not coming up here doing the show in the morning, right, would be the same way as Dak Prescott throwing all these interceptions 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Just a little food for thought. Because more times than not, you're going to see me up here, right? Tavis Banks says Cameron Latu is a Cowboys visit to fire. I like him. I'm telling you, man, you can sneak with him. A lot of people gonna sleep on him because you know I'm a Bama guy, man, and we didn't use our tight end. Bryce Young was looking for the big play. Like, Bryce is a big play guy. Like, he'll hold the ball forever and then go find a big play. he's very mobile and he'll be moving all around the field. And then he'll be looking deep the whole time. He a big play guy. He rarely used his tight ends. So Cameron Latu is gonna be very slept on, and he's a very capable tight end. I like him a lot. Dallas Cowboys R4UNV. He said, I would rather get trapped in the trap than drop the tight end at 26. Trap. He said, trapped in the trap. Hey, man, you'll have fun over here, though, man. We ain't gonna do nothing to you. He said, that's that wee-woo. Hey, man, shout out to Boss Cowboy. He said, that's that wee-woo, man. No, that's my guy. But Joe Tranchana, man, shout out to you over there on Facebook. He said, I can't believe Schultz took $9 million to go to another team, and we offered him $12 million a year. We did that last year, though. I think, sometimes you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them, Joe. Think about that. He had to fold them right now. You know what I'm saying? He just had to fold them. He fumbled his bag, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no, what's that NBA player that did? I think that was Schroeder. One of them NBA players had a big contract on the table, and he turned it down, and then he took some, terribly low. It was horrible. He didn't pull a move like that, but I think he just had to take something where he can get. And I feel like I think the Cowboys, they said, it was reports saying that we didn't offer him anything this year. They just said, hey, we good. So they probably was insulted, man. It's a lot of pride in this organization, too. Jerry probably like, bro, we gave you $12 million and you turned us down, and now you come back, we ain't giving you nothing. He said them boys get nothing.
Dollar bill!
You know what I'm saying?
Shut down! Pay no country boy nothing! Nothing!
Jerry looked at Dalton Schultz dead in his face and said,
You trash!
He said he's not finna pay you nothing. After he offered him that last year, this year he couldn't get nothing. Excuse me, y'all. I don't know why my throat itching and all kind of stuff. Darwin says, I'm just here so I don't get fined in the trap. Hey, man, you can't be missing shows, sir. Trap. You can't be missing shows. Oh, it was Schroeder big flop. That boy missed a big bag. He had a $100 million contract or something on the table and then turned it down and then signed for pennies the next year. So, hey. Oh, was it Reggie Jackson? It was one of them. I can't remember. So don't blame me. I don't know. I ain't been following the NBA as close because, my team was terrible. So I just check in and check out. I'm not a pain freak. I don't want to see my team just getting beat to shambles. I don't want to see that. Trap. I don't enjoy losing. DP Johnson says, think what you said, landlord. Schultz played on a $10 million after turning down 12. Now he's playing for 9 because he was good. Sounds like Schultz messed up. Yeah, what I just said, bro. You got to know when to hold him and when to fold him, man. You got to know when to hold him and when to fold him, man. Shout out to Lost in Translation in the building with me, man. What's happening? We trapping, sir. We trapping on an ugly Monday. That's what we got going on. He said, yo, you right, Big Flop. Reggie and Dennis the same person to me. Hey, they basically, Ashley and Mary Kay, Well, you remember what Wayne said. Swain said cards are getting calls for that number 3 pick. I wonder from who? Who they saying calling them then, Mr. Bad Influence? Lost in Translation said Alabama doesn't allow you to have a taste for losing. Roll Tide. Absolutely, sir. You know what I'm saying? I don't like losing, man. Trap. And to be fair, man, I'm such a real Spurs fan, bro. I gotta give my team some grace because we've been winning for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? We've been winning for 20 years, so I can't get mad at them for losing a couple of years. We just gotta reboot. If I'm confident in anybody turning around, my Spurs gonna get it done. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna be down for too long. Brian Peters says it was definitely Dennis Schroeder on top of him taking money elsewhere. He ended up right back in LA for less money. That's crazy. So it was Dennis Schroeder, not Reggie Jackson. And they are the same person if y'all thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? They are. They are the same person. Fred Wood said, put some color on that thumb and hit that like. Man, I appreciate you, sir. You saying stuff like that, I'm been to bring you up, sir. I appreciate you. Hoodlum said, we been draft since Kyrie. Yeah, what you talking about, the Mavs? You must be talking about the Mavs. I ain't too sure about the Mavs. What you got a 2 for? You can't hit me? That's what you're saying? Don't tell me that now. Don't tell me you can't hit me now, please. I thought I missed a comment. Swine says they didn't name the 6th time that's been calling. They didn't name the 6 times that's been calling. What you mean? I'm lost, Swine. I think I'm lost. He said, I don't know, landlord. Playoff Reggie a beast. I don't know too much about him in the playoffs. But yeah, man. So I don't know, man. I really think if we did draft a tight end, I think we'll just have to trust Will a little bit, man. We'll have to trust Will a little bit. It'll be tough. It'll be hard to swallow. We know that. It'll be a hard pill to swallow. But, you know what I'm saying, we'll have to get it done. Joe Tranchina says, where's Henry the Moore? Did the FBI finally come and get him for running over the Eagles fan? Hey, he might be. You might see Henry the Moore on what it is, America's Most Wanted or something, man. You know he real nefarious. That's my guy, though. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy, though. He be over there running over Eagles fans left and right. You know what I'm saying? Hullen said, only tight end I'm willing to draft is Michael Mayer. So you like Mayer over Kincaid. It's a lot of people still got Kincaid over Mayer and vice versa. But they mocking us to draft Mayer now. You remember at first it was us mocking, they had us mock to draft Kincaid. Now they saying Mayer. So that's what's so scary about this tight end position. Then you got to keep in mind Mike McCarthy is a former tight end too. But y'all want to know a little secret, man? I'm going to be honest with y'all. I promise y'all. I literally been begging and pleading for Dak to get a dominant tight end, though. Like, from the past years. But I just don't want it this way. You know what I'm saying? I want, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's one of the biggest things Dak Prescott missing is a dominant tight end. I feel like if you put Dak with a dominant, like 100% mismatch at all times, like a Kelce or something, I think you will see a phenomenal Dak Prescott. If you think about it, Dak ain't never had just this dominant tight end. He hasn't. He built Schultz. He built Schultz from the ground up. He went to build the tight end with Dalton Schultz, you know what I'm saying? He built Dalton Schultz from the ground up. I feel like Dalton wouldn't be who he is without Dak. So, and we know he got the tail end of Jason Witten. So Dak has never really had this dominant tight end. I would love to have him one, but I just don't want it in this fashion. I don't want to have to sacrifice a first-round pick to get him one. Why we can't have a fourth-round Kelce or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Trap. But I'm telling you, if you want to see the best of Dak Prescott, get him a better run game, fix the O-line, and get him a dominant tight end. I'm telling you right now, Dak can rock out. Shout out to Common Sense Lab, man. I hope everything good with you and your family too, sir. He says, we have to remember we are in contention, but we also one injury away from debacle. No tight end, no running back in the first. You absolutely right. You talking about on the line? Because, yeah, if Tyron go down, our O-line is in dire need then. You know what I'm saying? And if Jonathan Hankins go down on the defensive line, you back to square one. You back to when we was terrible at stopping the run. So, you right. But, you know, you one injury away everywhere, though, Mr. Common Sense. Shout out to Michael Lockhart, man. Absolutely, man. Hit that like for the squad. It will not charge a card. I appreciate all the love and support, man. I know y'all gonna do me right, man. I'm trying to beat this algorithm, man. I'm trying to get over 100 likes. Not 100, 100. I'm trying to get over 100, man. Y'all help your boy out. But yeah, look, y'all about to say Common Sense. Think about it. It's plenty of positions if we get an injury, it's over with. Last year, if we got an injury on the wide receiver, He said that's my point everywhere. Okay. Cause I was about to say if you lose Trey Diggs last year, we was toast. Like we didn't have a cornerback 2 last year at all. You know what I'm saying? It might have been people that was there, but they wasn't cornerback 2s. You know what I'm saying? Well, I say after Anthony Brown, cause Anthony, man, we can't stand Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown get a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Brown get a whole lot of pressure from Cowboy Nation, but we almost have to come to a conclusion that Anthony Brown probably was the best cornerback 2 we had last year. Ain't that scary, y'all? Am I right? Give me a 1 if I'm right. Give me a 2 if I'm wrong. Because who was the best cornerback 2 we had last year? So if Trayvon Diggs would have left or got hurt of anything, we would have been screwed. Just like CeeDee Lamb. So, yeah, common sense, you right. You always want one injury away. You always. But I feel like we need to be drafting to get over the hump, though, common sense. I just want us to, you know what I'm saying? I want us to take this same win now mentality into the draft. That's what I want. We got it. We seem like we got the the win now in the free agency this year. For the first time in history with Dollar Bill Jones. For the first time ever.
Shut down! Pay no country for nothing! Nothing!
This was the first time ever Dollar Bill Jones was in win now mode. So now, we got Bland though. Well, Bland a slot though. I'm thinking about a boundary corner sports guru. You know Bland my guy, man. So I'm with you. Yeah, Bland was still he would have been moved into cornerback 2. So yeah, you pretty much right though. You pretty much right. And Bland was a rookie though. Look how risky that is, Mr. Sports Guru. Look, Sports Guru, you know I was one of the first people that said they like Bland. So before last year, before you seen him play, that would have been outlandish to say that, right? That would have been outlandish, right? Like, hey, let me tell you this. Let me sell you, Sports Guru. I have to sell you this. Hey, we ain't got no cornerback 2, right? But check this out. I got this 5th round rookie, though. Man, you would have booed me out the building, wouldn't it? Like, everybody know you would have booed me out the building. Shout out to Matt Batten, the Gold in the building. What's happening, sir? Trap. Man, people would have been throwing tomatoes at me and everything if I would have told y'all, hold up, wait, there's more. We can go draft this 5th round rookie cornerback and he'll be our solution at corner. That never happens. So this is another a notch on Will McClay belt. This never happens. So that's why you got to consider that. Like, nah, we wouldn't have dare even said nothing like that going into last year. Like after the draft, right after the draft, I told you, man, Deron Bland gonna start and he gonna be a real cornerback too. Man, they would have thrown tomatoes at me. No riskier than Boss Man. You ain't lying about that. You are not lying about that, man. Boss Man is, I hope he can do better, man. But like what he showed, I can't even argue with nobody that's low on him. Like I want him to do well. You know what I'm saying? He's a Cowboy. I want every Cowboy that got a star on their helmet to do well. Shout out to HTM in the building, man. My people been asking about you, man. You my partner in crime, man. He said something, my boy. Y'all run that like button for your boy. See, that's what a real friend for right now. Trap. You know what I'm saying? Trap. I appreciate you, sir. Matt Batten says, I like Darnell Washington in the 1st and 2nd. The guys like Tank, perfect, CeeDee Lamb, can block, very talented guy, landlord. Darnell Washington. I'll take him in the 2nd. I wouldn't take him in the 1st. I think he's talented, you know what I'm saying? But one thing I had, like, over my whole lifespan, like, you know, I've been on the earth a long time, you know what I'm saying? Trap. I'm old at this point. But one thing I noticed, though, bro, talent alone don't get it. Like, no lie. Talent alone does nothing. Because I've seen plenty of talented players who never reach their potential. It takes more than talent. Like, I know the tangibles are hard to ignore, but you need those intangibles just as much. Like, no lie. And especially at certain positions, those intangibles count even more than other positions. So, don't sleep on the intangibles. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just go off pure talent, and you can't just go off pure production either. See, that's something that's scary. Because, look, Taco Charlton was all production. Trap. Think about it. You can't go off all production either. The draft is so tricky. This is why these people get paid millions of dollars to do this. You know what I'm saying? This is why it's hard to draft. This is why some teams be terrible for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? This is not an easy thing. It's almost like a lotto. You know what I'm saying? So if you go off solely production, you'll get burned in this draft. Think about it. Production, you might just be in the right system for you. Your system might just be tailor-made for you to exceed, for you to excel. Your system might just be tailor-made for you and you just ball out. So you can't really just go off solely production either. Jalen Tolbert is production. You know what I'm saying? Trap. And I'm not saying I don't believe in Tolbert. Y'all know I think Tolbert gonna take a step next year. But I'm just telling you, production alone is not, you can't do that either. You know what I'm saying? Yes, HT, like, bro, look, I don't think people understand how simply complex the draft is. I think that's a great blend right there, the way to say it. It's a great, oxymoron. Like, it's a great, I don't know, man. It's so hard. Like, it's very simple and complex at the same time. It is. You know what I'm saying? Because just like I said, if you go solely out production, you could take a big L. Like, you can. And Taco Charlton was a prime example of that, unfortunately. I had a bad feeling about Taco's name. When I heard Taco get called, I was like, that must have been a soft shell taco. You know what I'm saying? We didn't need that. Jerry and them might have been a little hungry, man. That's what that was. Y'all know them boys. Trap. Jerry and them was a little hungry that time. Cause ain't that the same draft they drafted Cheeto too? Them boys drafted Cheeto and Taco in the same draft, man. Jerry and them had a stomach aching up. So, yeah, Brian. But look, you can't I just want y'all to understand, when you look at a player just straight production, man, that's risky as well. That's risky as well. Because then you got to take into account the level of competition. You got to take into account who he playing with. You know what I'm saying? You got to take into a lot of stuff into consideration when you just basing it on production. It's a combination of things. It's a combination of things that make a player who he is. It's a whole combination. Yo, Brian, they had the munchies up there drafting, man. You know what I'm saying? They took Cheeto and Taco in the draft, man. So it's crazy, but I'm telling you, I know a lot of people just say they scream production. But that's dangerous too. I'm telling you, that's dangerous too. Because you got to look at it like, man, this dude might just be good in this particular scheme. This dude might just be good in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to do a whole combination. You got to take into consideration his production. You got to take into consideration what kind of level of talent he playing. You know what I'm saying? I value the tape and the traits over everything. Like, think about it. A player could have a lot of traits, but they tape saying different because the team and the scheme might not be using them to the best of his abilities. The scheme might have him as a defensive tackle when he should be an edge, or the scheme might have him playing outside linebacker when he should be an edge. Like, it's a lot of stuff you have to take into consideration. A prime example of that is Sam the Slam Williams. Trap. See, what made Slam Williams so attractive last year coming out of Ole Miss is we all can come to a general understanding that he wasn't used to the best of his abilities. You know what I'm saying? He was not being used to the best of his abilities. He was being used in the wrong way. He was coming out the defensive tackle. Like, Ole Miss was doing some crazy stuff. They was using 3-man fronts and stuff. So when you think about it, Sam Williams was being used in the wrong way, and he still had production. So that's why that was a decent bet.
Trap.
See what I'm saying?
Trap.
The Cowboys looking like, oh, he being used the wrong way, and he's still putting up numbers. So that's why you will take a bet on that. Like I saw my brother West Coast, man. Shout out to West Coast Cowboy, man. All this stuff is like a gamble. It's a bet. You will take a bet on that because you like, okay, this man still was productive in one of the best conferences in college football, being used in the wrong way on a pretty inferior defensive line, and he still had supreme production. So right there alone, that'll make me take that bet. You know what I'm saying? Now people look at Jalen Tolbert, you know what I'm saying? They looked at a high production guy, but he on an inferior team and in a inferior conference. So that right there might make me hold my money a little bit. You know what I'm saying? The only way they even consider guys out of conferences like that, he got to be stupendous. He got to be dominant. He got to be phenomenal in those little conferences. But that's exactly what Jalen Tolbert was. He was dominant in South Alabama. So the draft is a crazy place. And everybody's right now before the draft. But we'll see who get the last laugh after the draft. That's how that goes.
Trap.
And like I said, I was wrong on some people last year, but I was right on some people too. I was right on a lot of people last year too. Even people that went on my team, I was right about. So you just got to come up with your own formula, man. And I like the way Will McClay operate his. Satellite Sunny, what's happening? He said, hey, what happened to the big cat Brian edge rusher? I thought he was on the practice squad. He not making no noise. He was on the practice squad last year when. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he was a free agent or something. I ain't sure. I remember he was on there, and a lot of people was talking up to him too. But I didn't check him out too much. Shout out to Matt Baden. What you was talking about tight ends? He said, landlord, why are you sleeping on our tight ends? You talking about our tight ends, Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot? I like both of them. I'm talking about what the Cowboys talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, Brian Broaddus' comments about the tight ends, Matt, it kind of scared me. It was an alarm. It was a little alarming. I ain't gonna cap to y'all. It was just a tad bit alarming because Brian Broaddus said the feel in the building, he feel like they saying that Peyton Hendershot is better than Jake Ferguson. Now, I don't know if that's an insult to Jake Ferguson or just high praise to Peyton Hendershot. We got to decipher that for ourselves.
Trap.
Shout out to Lee in the building, man. What's happening? But what y'all think about that? Because if you can't beat out an undrafted free agent, that's either a great undrafted free agent tight end or you just not as good as we thought you were. I can't tell. But I like both of them, though. Like, me personally, I think both of them can play. And I think both of them I think they'll be able to handle this job by themselves. Like, without no more tight end help. Shout out to Cajun Cowboy in the building. What's happening, sir? DeQuincy Coleman says, I've been saying Hendershot was better than Ferguson. Brian Broaddus said that's what they feel like in the building, man. I don't know, because that raised my eyebrows when he said that. I said, what? Hendershot better than Ferg? I couldn't believe it, but that's what it sounds like the noises is coming around though, man, over there in the building. Shout out to Pizza Al Fuego in the building. What's happening, sir? You all right? Tim Miller says, eternal beef has begun with the tight end conversation. What you mean talking about in the building as far as drafting one or as far as the ones we have, Tim Miller? Fill me in. T-Hawk says, I think Hendershot is do that thing this year. He will do that thing this year. I think he will too. I like Hendershot being a seam guy. We need somebody to attack the seams. Like, I'm gonna have to find the graphic, man, but I don't remember us attacking the seam that much last year. Like, am I right or wrong, y'all? I gotta look and see what the percentages was, but I don't remember us just being like aggressive down the seams. That's something Dak excels at. You know, he was killing them seams with Blake Jarwin, man.
Trap.
What's happening with your Dallas Cowboys hard hitter? What's going on? But what y'all think about that? I'ma have to go. Do y'all feel the same way? So we don't have the numbers right this second, but I don't remember us being too aggressive in the seams at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember that at all. Let's see. Say he better to me, more of a weapon. Talking about him the shot. See, I don't want people to get it confused. Him the shot is the smaller guy. You know, he's more of a pass catcher. He's more of a, you know how I feel about skinny tight ends though. Peyton Hendershot look like a receiver to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie. He kind of built like a receiver. Yeah, most people saying the same thing, bro. I'm gonna have to go look up those graphics and those numbers and get the percentages, because I don't want to be, you know, just saying stuff. But I wish my brother HTM, see, this is why you need the numbers guy. Trap. You know what I'm saying? Trap. HTM, if you still hear my brother, please look up the percentage if you can. I need to see if what our middle of the field percentages was, and maybe even with the tight end. Because I don't remember us doing anything in the seams. Like, just being real. Everything was like out routes and stuff like that. They didn't even do many drag routes and stuff like that with our tight ends. J-Day says maybe tight end first round. No. That's what we've been talking about, J-Day. I don't know if you came in late, but we need... I don't want a tight end in the first, but if that was to happen, I feel like Will McClay would have gave it okay, and I have to trust my guy. I trust him in every other aspect. If he gonna draft a tight end, man, I'm gonna have to ride with my guy. He said Jarwin got medical settlement. Yeah, see, I'm just saying. Then Dak cooked in that scene with Blake Jarwin though. On my life, he did. He cooked. Dak is great in the middle of the field, y'all. That's what I want. That's why I want a big-time weapon in those spots. Like, where does Dak get busy at? I never seen Dak not get busy with a slot weapon. With a slot receiver, Dak always get busy with them. You can go name a list of them. Cole Beasley, Randall Cobb, CeeDee Lamb, Cedric Wilson. Dak get busy in the slot. Trap. So now you got a slot weapon. That's why I say give Dak another tight end that can hit them seams. Dak get busy with tight ends. He made Jarwin. You know what I'm saying? Jarwin got hurt, but Jarwin was finna be back just like Schultz. I'm telling you right now. Jarwin was going to be another Schultz. Probably, I look at Hendershot close to Jarwin, though. Hendershot is closer to Jarwin's skill set to me. Common sense said, Keystone, you right, or catching groups, all hand issues. The lunatic in the building, what's happening? He said that would be a good number of options at 26. Gonna be interesting in the Cowboys war room. It will. Because like I said, it's so many options because we build a solid team, the lunatic. We build a team so solid that it's gonna open up. Our draft board is open. You know what I'm saying? You might want to reach for a guard or a tackle, or you might want to reach for a defensive end or a defensive tackle. But it's not really like the end of the world if you don't get them in the first. You know what I'm saying? A sneaky pick would be a linebacker in the first round. That's possible too. It could really be possible they just draft Drew Sanders or Jack Campbell or something like that in the first. And, you know, a lot of people, it'll be similar to the LVE move, but linebacker is a need too, though. I don't look at it as a huge need because I like the depth, but we do need to be planning on what we're going to do because we signed LVE to a small deal. So we are looking for the linebacker of the future. You guys, the poet said we need to go to the draft with some picket signs. No tight end in the first. Hey, man. Don't give me no ideas. Don't you give me no ideas, you guys, because you know I'm going. You going to have me up in there with one. You going to have me in the draft. No, tight end at 26. No. I'm going to be up in there marching by myself. Schultz benefited from Jarwin's injury. Yeah, he did. He came along. He stood right up in that slot. One of the biggest reasons I don't want a tight end, though, is because we just let Schultz go. Why would you let Schultz go and then use a tight end, drop a tight end at 26? That makes no sense because I don't know if neither one of these tight ends going to be better than Schultz year one, though. If that's not the case, then you didn't do the right thing. Chandra Johnson says, landlord, we're running a West Coast offense. A lot of 2 tight end sets. Darnell would give Dak more time for wide receivers, running backs up the block, upfield blocking. Yeah, I like Washington. I just don't like him in the first. I dropped him in the second. Because, hey, he could be your Jason Peters. You know, Jason Peters was a tight end, and then they moved him to left tackle. You know what I'm saying? Trap. They do the lunatic. They do. They got a terrible track history in first round. What's happening with your action, pal? You know you in the trap, son. Trap. Monte Regimore. You ain't no kin to Paul Regimore, is it? Because I think Paul got the same last name. He says Simmons might be the Kincaid they think we need. I seen a lot of people saying that they would move Simmons to tight end. I don't think Simmons bulky enough. I think Noah Brown would have been a dope tight end though, honestly though. You know what I'm saying? I think Noah would have been a dope tight end. Really. Here, ATM Sports says not a single first-round tight end has panned out in the last 10 seasons. That's crazy. So, we'll be going against history. I tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? We'll be going against history. Trap. Nobody wants to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like those odds, but it is what it is. Action Pile says, bro, take a look at Charlie Jones from Purdue, fam. He the truth. What position he play? That's the wide receiver, right? I think that's the wide receiver. If that's the wide receiver, I seen some. I looked at a little of his tape. We need to go guard and beef up the trenches. Yeah, we do. Because I don't like this unsure type approach. Yeah, I thought so. I thought he was the receiver. I don't like this unsure approach we got going with Tyler Smith. Because they need to decide. Well, they probably know. We just don't know. That's what's grinding our gears. You know what I'm saying? We need to decide what's going on with Tyler Smith. Like, let us know if he going to be a guard or a tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. I know he might be the tackle of the future, but I don't think they being clear enough about where they want to put him. And now you hear people saying Tyron Smith is your swing tackle. Like, I think they just creating problems for no reason. And, you know, we'll see how that play out. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how that play out. Because if we wanted to start right now, we could just put Tyron Smith on the starting lineup and be ready to rock out. But they going to use, now they saying they going to use, no, at first they had reports saying he was going to be a swing tackle. Then there was reports saying he going to start at right tackle. So it's just craziness on the O-line. That's why when we have these long, lengthy conversations like this about where the O-lineman going to play and stuff like that, that's prime indication that O-line is a problem. Trap. That's all that's saying. Trap. The lunatic says he said we need to do different mock drafts. One where we take a guard / tackle at 26, another defensive player, and another one other offensive weapon. See how it plays out. Yeah, I might start doing some draft. I might do a couple mocks tomorrow. That's what we might do tomorrow. That's a good idea. We might do a couple mocks tomorrow. DP Johnson says, I do think Mike McCarthy will attempt to use Hendershot up the seam as much as seams and use a matchup player. I can't hardly see y'all. We may need a faster tight end, but we got 3 we like. Get O-line fixed. I don't like Dak dancing before he throws. Yeah. If we trying to keep Dak healthy, we do need the O-line. That was one, you got to pay attention to how they talking. And that was one of the biggest things Mike McCarthy said. He want Dak to play 20 games. So if you speaking like that, that was one of your bulletin board comments. I'm pretty sure they probably go O-line in the first. I'm pretty sure about that. Willie T says they don't need to say anything about Tyler Smith until after the draft. I guess. I'm just, I want to know. I'm just being selfish, Willie T. But we know Mike McCarthy like to play stuff close to the vest. He's not going to tell you much of anything. This the same dude that came in with no names on the jersey when he first came in. Trap. You know what I'm saying? On the practice field. Trap. Mike McCarthy was being very nefarious when he first got in here. Big Mike Soprano, that is. The Lunatic said Big Mike said run the damn ball, but of him, the OC and the O-line coach, Big Mike, the one who may go pass heavy during games. Yeah, you better believe that. Mike gonna throw the ball now. Like, that's why I told you. I don't know if you seen how I reacted to them comments, the Lunatic, but I think I deciphered it pretty well. I feel like Mike McCarthy had a little frustration when he said that. Like, think about it. Run the damn ball. I think that was out of frustration from Kellen Moore not doing the things that common sense things in those critical situations, like 2nd and 2 from the goal line. I think Mike McCarthy was expressing frustration when he said that in them comments. So I don't want people to get confused thinking that means Mike McCarthy finna be, just handing the ball off 90 times a game. Like, that's not what he's finna do. Mike McCarthy is going to throw the football, but I think when he said run the damn ball, I think he's saying out of like situational football, he going to run the ball when it makes sense to run the ball. He's going to run the ball with a purpose. He's going to run the ball effectively. Like, these are things that Kellen Moore failed to do, unfortunately for us. You know what I'm saying? Mike McCarthy even spoke on it like earlier in the year when he was saying like being a young OC. And he was like, man, it's certain plays that you don't want to do, but your boss is telling you to do it, so you just run the play to get it off the call sheet. And he did say that he didn't want to put Kellen in a situation like that. But, I wish he would have put him in a situation like that. Because you gave Kellen too much free time and freedom in the building, and it cost us. I felt like you could tell they was going back and forth. I believe like at the beginning of the year, he was just like, okay, Kellen, do your thing. Then after a while, he started saying, hey, man, Kelly, you might need to do this. You remember in that owners meeting interview, he said, I suggested we run the ball more. And then he did his head like this. He said, I suggested we run the ball more. You know what I'm saying? So I really think you seen some slight Mike McCarthy influence in his offense as it materialized down the year. Like, I don't think it was all I don't think it was all Kellen Moore all the way through. Because it was certain games you could tell. Was that Texans game, y'all, when Kellen Moore kept throwing the ball like he was crazy? Then after halftime, we came in, this man ran the ball like 9 times in a row. If you can't tell that was a tug of war or a little Mike McCarthy influence involved in there, you got to be out your mind. You can see this. It's obvious. Hold up. Chandra Johnson says most of our pressures came from our edges cause our tight ends weigh 245. Yeah, they ain't blocking good on the edge, but Ferguson can actually block. Like, he decent. Schultz didn't really want to block that much. You know what I'm saying? He'll get in the way. He'll do his part, but he's not gonna blow you away at blocking. Yeah, ATM said, yeah, that was the Texans game. I think we was watching that game live because we did a watch along on that game. But man, he was he was throwing the ball like crazy. Then after halftime, he came and ran the ball like 20 times in a row. It was crazy. But JC said, did we have a tackle come in this year that was a top 30 visit? A tackle? Did we have a tackle? I know Avila came in. I have to go back and look at the list again. I know Avila came in, but he a guard. I don't know too many tackles. That we had. Somebody help me out. I ain't got the list right here in front of me, but I ain't too sure. Big Flop says Schultz only blocked when Dak ran. he was president. he was a selective blocker when the Big Flop. Matt Batten says, everyone, I think I want Donnell Washington at 26. My point was he's a beast. That's it. Thanks for understanding my point. Big Bud, Cowboys for life. Yeah, I get it. I just don't want him at 26. I'll take him if he falls to the second. These are my reasons why I'm not just sold on Donnell just yet. Because he wasn't the starter. He wasn't the main focal part of that team in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Brock Bowers was the biggest threat on that team to me. And he was by far the better tight end. Donnell Washington was mostly blocking in his Georgia career. Stinson Bennett wasn't that good though, I'll tell you that. Yeah, it's like Law got a what you call it? It's like he got that patent or something. Cause every time I hear the name Washington, I be wanting to say shout out to Law Nation. It make you want to drag it out, don't it? James Washington. Don't nobody say it like Law though. But yeah, man, like it's a lot of things. It's a lot of red flags you'll have to overlook to me. He said, yes, Donnell Wright, tackle from Tennessee. Oh, okay. Good job, Hen. Appreciate you, sir. I ain't know that. Where he projected at? He said, in practice, oh my God, Donnell versus Micah in practice. Yeah, that'll be crazy. Two freaks. Cause he a freak. I just don't, I like all of it. Cause look, I just told you the problem with taking somebody off pure production. Cause most people will probably argue with me that production is the safest way to go. But it's not. It's crazy. This draft thing is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Cause look, you can't go solely off of talent either. Cause Donnell Washington is straight talent. He's a talent production guy. He's a ceiling guy. He probably the most ceiling guy you got on here. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's scary to take him super, super high. I like him. I believe he gonna be a good player, but man, that's scary to me. Somebody I haven't even seen be a feature player on this team. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even the biggest player on his own team in college. So you mean to tell me he gonna make that transition to the NFL and be the big time dominant tight end that we want him to be? Because if he come in the Cowboys, will he be better than Ferguson and Hendershot year one? I don't know. But I like him though. I really like him. It's just scary to me. It's a very risky pick messing with him in the first. I say that's very risky because you don't typically go super ceiling guys like that in the first. Not good teams. Not teams that draft well, I say. Shout out to King Brian on this. But teams that draft well don't typically go just super ceiling guys like that. HTM says, yes, Keystone Wright projection is round 1 to 2 according to multiple sites for Donnell Washington. Varies depending on who you ask. Yeah, I guess you can. Yeah, it is a risk, bro. We get it. Yeah, it's a risk. But like you said, I wouldn't throw stuff at the TV if we did it though. The only reason is because we had 26, man. So I wouldn't be super mad, but I just don't like the risk in my opinion. Like to me, it's a little too risky. Yes, off the top, he's 6'7", 270 with 34-inch arms, day one starter. We've seen them guys with that talent, Chandra, though. Real talk. Talent alone don't get it every time. Like, I like talent. I like the film. You know what I'm saying? I like to watch the traits the player got. But it's no guarantees, man. It's a lot of talented guys out here that turn into nothing out here, man. But one thing I give y'all, if he come to the Cowboys, I feel like we'll help him reach his maximum potential though. Cause some guys be super talented and go to the wrong situations. So that's what's crazy. He said, I'm throwing the TV. Don't do that now. He said, landlord, if you're right about drafting, you don't ever pick right. I don't ever pick right. What you mean? I ain't drafting nobody. DP Johnson says, if that's truly the cause why we not talking about Izzy from Pitt, 215 running 4-3 and his numbers and BJ not far off, but he gets no love. Draft is crazy. Exactly. Because you want to know why most people not going off straight talent either. Like, it's a bunch of different categories you got to consider when you drafting these players. You got to think, these owners, this is investments for them. These players are investments. You know what I'm saying? You got to consider they off the field stuff too. Because you could be the best player in the world, but if you ain't on the field for me, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different variations you gotta consider. You gotta consider the production. You gotta consider the actual raw talent that he possesses. You gotta actually consider the type of guy he is, the intangibles. All of that stuff make up to how high and how low these teams put these players on their draft board. All those things they consider it. Sports Guru said UGA tight ends are always productive pros. Bennett fell in love with Bowers. He overthrow Washington a lot. Oh, okay. That's what's up though. Bowers like that though too now. I have to go watch all their games or something, but Bowers like that. Paul Reservoir said we actually got Diggs, Mike, and Gilly on defense with a young Sam Will. I can't wait. Yeah, we finna go crazy. The defense is solid. The defense is set. We just need one. We do need a linebacker, and we do need a defensive tackle. But I'm telling you right now, I'll be ready to go suit up with this defense right now. Like, with no additions, I'm still betting on my defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me. He said, I like Izzy, though. Been showing him respect, dude. We need a true tackle. Let Tyler stay at guard. I love Tyler Smith at guard. They don't like him at guard, though. It seems like they don't like Tyler Smith at guard. They like him at tackle. Or, it could be Steven Jones being cheap now. He don't want to pay that boy no tackle, man, or something. I don't know. Well, no, he don't want to pay no tackle. He gonna put Tyler Smith at tackle so he won't have to pay a real tackle or something. I don't know. He said, damn sure don't need a tight end at 26, LOL, unless they really want extra blocking or something, because the offense is straight pretty much. If we do need improvements, we need the most improvements on offense, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? We could use another receiver because Brandon Cooks is a rental. We can use, a running back. We can use a running back too. Like, we can use some weapons, but it ain't many things that's a real necessity, though. The offensive line is the clean cut need. That's the biggest need we got on this team. Bowers is something deadly at Georgia. Hey, that boy, that's different. I like Bowers. Trap. Yeah, Kareem, we got him for 2 years, but it's still like a bridge player. You know what I'm saying? Kareem, you don't think about it. You don't wanna wait till you absolutely need one to draft one. Right? You know what I'm saying? So if they receiver their dreams fall to them, they wouldn't hesitate to draft them. Or next year for sure they'll be drafting one. Next year for sure. Chandra Johnson says, what do we complain about red zone blocking, upfield, push, secure hands, basically everything that Donnell Washington is good. I mean, is what we're missing on offense. I wouldn't be mad at him, though. I wouldn't be mad at him. I wouldn't be mad at him at all. Jameson, you doing all right, Jameson? I hope you're doing good. But y'all know I'm finna get ready to wrap this thing on up, man. I appreciate all the love and support, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like and share for the squad. It will not charge a card. I'm trying to get over 100 likes now. Go on, help your boy out.
Trap.
I ain't too proud to beg. I said please. Shout out to Hallelujah in the building, man. That boy named Hallelujah. I like that. JC Cowboy Network said, I don't think they will pick Washington at 26, but I think they brought him in to try to grab in the second on a trade up or something. I can't see them taking him at 26. Me either. That'll be a reach to me. And cause he's such a raw player, he's such a ceiling player. I'm not saying he won't reach his ceiling or he's not good enough, but he'll be such an experiment to me. But, man, I appreciate everybody rocking with your boy, man. Y'all already know why they hate us, because they ain't us, and we are the greatest. Y'all know that, man. I appreciate all the love and support.
Yeah.
Make sure you hit that like and share for the squad. It will not charge a card, man. Help your boy get over 100 likes. Help me beat up this algorithm, man. Let's go.
And this is greatness defined. Every line is divine. Verses boggle your mind. And every song, man, I swear, just get better with time. No matter how much shade they throwing, I still manage to shine. I don't know why they so obsessed with mine. I'm all they think about. Go in their house, they probably got my pics in a shrine. Damn, I never let these play me. They see us ballin', now they wanna switch teams like KD. I know my time coming, I guess I'ma wait and see. I'm too cocky and confident, that humble ain't for me, Lord. Help me with my egotistical ways, but I'm amazed how they display such miserable hate. I never paid attention to what most to say. They words are unimportant like prepositional phrase. They wanna see me crash and burn in a ridiculous blaze, but yet I rise like the Phoenix. Show these people I'm great enough. Yeah, I know these haters can't stand me. Well, take a seat, I do it for the family. So bring the block to the Grammys, and if you try to stop me, you need a plan B. Yeah, I just do it for the real. If you ain't from the bottom, you ain't get how I feel. To go against the odds, go hard, chase meals, every dollar till you make it. Show them all you the greatest, I'm the greatest.
And not only am I the greatest, we are the greatest. You already know that. Shout out to the haters. And like I say, 1K, one love, Cowboys Nation. Let's go.